What is shock? A lot of people have heard the term, they're not really sure what it is. And shock is more than just, oh my goodness, I'm so shocked that happened. Shock is a real medical condition. What's happening with shock is the blood flow has considerably slowed. This could be because of heavy loss of blood, or it could also be because something traumatic has happened that has caused the person's system to kind of start shutting down on itself. And what are some of the symptoms that somebody is going into shock? Well, it could be a lot of different symptoms. It could be they're pale. It could be that they're having trouble breathing. They're having trouble swallowing. It could be many different things. But one of the best ways to tell that somebody is in shock is if you see what we call the 1,000-yard stare. They're looking at you, but nothing's registering. You can talk to them. Hey, hey, nothing. You get nothing from them. That typically is a good sign that somebody has gone in shock, especially if you've seen immediately preceding that a traumatic event. So for instance, if you just witnessed a car collision and a person stumbles out of the car and they've got that stare and they're looking around, chances are very high that they are in shock. So what do you do to treat a person that's in shock? Well, the first thing you want to try to do is try to get them to lay down. You want to lay them down, elevate their feet, kind of try to get everything regulated within their body, balanced out. Instead of having them standing up and having the heart have to work hard to pump everything around, we want it just nice and easy and leveled out. You want to put those feet above the heart, again, elevate them about 6 to 12 inches. Next, you want to cover them with some sort of blanket or coat. Why is this important? Well, remember, what shock is the blood is slowing. What happens to you when your blood circulation slows? You start to get cold, right? So your body temperature is being affected by shock. So it's important that we get them covered up. Next, you want to make sure that you never, never, never give them anything to eat or drink. No matter what, you never want to give somebody in shock anything to eat or drink. But why not? I mean, let's think about it. When somebody's not feeling good, they got a headache, whatever it may be, it's usually, hey, you want a glass of water, right? That's the cure-all. So why wouldn't you give somebody in shock a glass of water? Well, the first thing to remember, shock is the blood is slowing down because the systems are kind of shutting down. The person may be having trouble swallowing. So what you could do is you could create a choking hazard for them. You don't want to create a choking hazard. Or you could also cause them to vomit it back up because, again, their systems aren't functioning properly when they're in shock. But more importantly, let's remember what shock is occurring with shock is that the blood flow is slowing, causing the body temperature to drop. So we're trying to warm them back up slowly and gradually. But if you give them water, what does that do? Drops the body temperature, right? So we want to make sure that we don't give them anything to drink. We also don't want to give them anything to eat because, again, with a body temperature being unstable at this point, food, when the body burns the calories, it gets energy and it gets warmed up, right? So you could create an instant increase in energy that you don't want. That could be bad on them when they're trying to ease their way out of shock with their body. So no food or water when they're in shock. Finally, you want to see how their breathing is, and if they need it, begin CPR.